Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Carl. I'm a recovery coach at Cap Recovery Center. This is our all recovery meeting for the day. An article I have here is that the spiritual principles of recovery, the 12 ways you can practice them in every day. It says the spiritual principles of recovery are a guide to fulfillment and strength in recovery that correspond to the original 12 steps or 12-step recovery programs like Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, Gamblers Anonymous, and so on. These principles are laid out as a path for those looking to gain spiritual growth and personal betterment. As they navigate through addiction recovery in a 12-step recovery program requires honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. The recovery process is told by groups like AA and NA is an ongoing way of life because addiction is a disease that does not have a cure. And I was told that in early recovery. There is no cure for our disease of addiction. We just have a program, multiple programs and multiple pathways to maintain our sobriety each day. And not just in recovery, but in life in general. The spiritual principles that we have to apply in all areas of our lives, just not in recovery and outside of recovery. But they are important principles to apply to our lives and in all areas because, it talks about open-mindedness, willingness, and honesty, right? And if I don't touch on those three things, and there's many other ones that go along with it, we can be lying, deceitful, not honest, right? And that's what I was doing for many, many years in active addiction. It says open-mindedness. I was very closed-minded, right? I wasn't willing to listen. It was my way or no way. Very narrow-minded. So I was not practicing open-mindedness and willing. Yes, I was willing, but I was willing to get drugs and alcohol at all costs. So I wasn't willing to participate or to get clean and sober in my recovery to better my life. So I have to flip it from the negative to the positive because there's principles that we have to apply in all areas of our lives. It says, according to the 12-step programs, the way to manage your addiction as a disease to follow the guidelines and wisdom passed down by others like alcoholics and addicts who successfully maintain their sobriety above all the 12 steps of AA and NA. Believe that if you emulate the determination, consistency, and underlying dedication of those who succeed before you in the 12-step model, you will be successful in recovery just like them. And it talks about implement some of these principles in my life and some of the steps in my life. And it was passed down to me by my sponsors and my predecessors. And I've learned things from my pastor and my predecessors and my mentors, people I look up to, people I trust. Because I tried to do things on my own for many, many years, and it got me a lot more pain and suffering. And we talk about jails and institutions, and ultimately, the end result is death. And it don't have to be a physical death; it can be a spiritual death, and spiritually fractured and lost and confused. And I didn't have the hope and the faith that I have today because of my choices of substance. And what was told to me and still to this day is about spiritual principles. Sometimes I was taught this too, and that sometimes we have to stand on our own principles, right? Sometimes standing on our own principles can be lonely, right? But so we all have principles, morals, values, beliefs. We have our own personal beliefs and stuff like that. But I don't. Sometimes we can push them on others, and that can cause harm. I sure can do it at times, because it's what I believe. This is what I invested in, and this is my thoughts on it. And a lot of us can have opinions or opinionated. and we all have them. But as long as I apply these principles to my life, I can have long lasting sobriety if I keep working on myself on a daily basis. Let's see what the next one is. It says, what are the 12 spiritual principles? It says, spiritual principles of recovery are governing principles to heal us from the inside out, teaching us the importance of things like having patience and gratitude. People in recovery can practice these principles with ease, as they often need to remind themselves that their purpose as addicts and alcoholics is not just staying away from drugs and alcohol, but bettering themselves. And it talks about the inside out. So recovery is definitely an inside job. And by practice, principles can start to heal us from within. I didn't know that I had a sense of it, but I didn't really understand in early recovery what recovery meant is an inside job. And we have to, heal our minds and our bodies and our spirits, and we really got to take care of it and cultivate what's really going on with us and nurture ourselves by healing through the process of the principles and the steps. And, we talk about here at Catholic Recovery Center, like the multiple pathways of recovery. It's crucial because one thing doesn't work for all, so I've learned that I broaden my base by welcoming and being open-minded to other pathways in recovery because everything doesn't work for everybody. I just started to incorporate things I was taught and things that do work for me and things that don't work for me, and I've learned that from other people in recovery. So using the 12 spiritual principles of recovery and follow the 12 steps and guidance from other alcoholics and addicts, we have succeeded in establishing and maintaining a sobriety lifestyle is the path to recovery. The 12 spiritual principles of recovery are as follows: acceptance, hope, faith, courage, honesty, patience, humility, willingness, brotherly love, integrity, self-discipline, and service. Below are the principles of recovery listed in order with the corresponding step. So it's the step one, acceptance. The second step, hope. The third step, faith. Step 4, courage. Step 5, honesty. 6 step, patience. Step 7, humility. Step 8, willingness. Step 9, brotherly love. Step 10, integrity. Step 11, self-discipline. And the 12th step, service. Let's go on to, as people work through the 12 steps, they are meant to apply each principle, taking the time to reflect on the meaning behind the practice and how to can better their life in recovery. Additionally, 12-step support groups often participate in mantras of prayers that align their goals and aspirations in sobriety and assist them in coping with the stressors of daily life. It says, practicing the spiritual principles of the 12 steps. Regardless of whether you're subscribed to a monolithic religion like Judaism, Christianity, or Islam, or you take part in a non-theist religion like Buddhism, and I'm not sure what that was, I'm sorry. Spirituality is a vital part of your recovery experience. The same goes for people who fall into a agnostic or atheist line of thinking. That being said, most individuals have a difficult time prioritizing their spiritual health, and their attention easily strays away from spiritual maintenance as life's distractions preoccupy their time. In case you are struggling with your spiritual well-being, here are 12 ways you can practice the spiritual principle of recovery every day. And it doesn't, the principle doesn't matter what religion, that's what I gather, is like, it doesn't matter what religion we are, what race, what sex, it doesn't matter, right? The disease of addiction is real, and it plays a part in a lot of people's lives, right? And not just in the people's lives that suffer from the disease of addiction, but the family members, right? The friends, the community, the court system, the world, like they play a big impact in our surroundings, right? I sure did. So I just know from experience. So I have to be mindful of that. And to like, the way I can better myself is through the spiritual principles of recovery. And the first one here it says acceptance. Acceptance and recovery multiple times throughout the day. Things may not go as planned. Practice acceptance when you're just missed the bus for work or when they run out of the coffee in the office. Acceptance is by far one of the most useful principles to practice. Yeah, it's a hard one. A lot of these principles are hard to practice and apply in our daily lives, but I know for sure that if I, apply these principles, my life can get better. My life can get better. Not just my life, but I can get better, right? And acceptance is like this stuff, these principles were foreign to me, because I was always on the negative side. I was always on the opposite side, talking about acceptance. In active addiction, I was not accepting, right? So like I was always the opposite of these principles, right? And if I apply some of the things that were taught to me and told to me in my recovery, like my life has gotten way better than it was, you know. Let's see here. It says hope for change. Hope can lend itself to you in any type of need, distress, or unhappiness. Sit down for a couple of minutes quietly and express your hope that things will work out how they should. If things don't work out, have hope that you will be okay either way. Wow. And I'm more on that kind of side of things today. Like, everything is not going to go my way, right? We will like it, but it doesn't happen. That's just life and life terms, and things happen, right? But today, I know I have hope that whatever comes my way, whatever life on life terms throw at me, whatever stressors and things of, say, death, right? Loss of loved ones, losing of a job, or whatever the case may be for you, right? We have a lot of things that go on and things happen in life. I'm going to be okay no matter what, right? I'm going to be okay. I'm not going to use drugs and alcohol because of X, Y, and Z, right? Because I already know when I pick up where my life goes to, right? I play the tape out, and I have hope and faith that like either way, I'm going to be okay no matter what happens in life. It says faith in the higher power. Practicing faith can look like praying, meditating, speaking to your higher power, etc. Putting hope into a power greater than yourself is faith. Yes, crucial, very crucial. Because listen, I have friends, I have family, I have a support group, I have a fellowship of people, I have a network of people, I have a solid foundation, right? I have people in my life that I can trust and confide in, but people will let you down. We're human, we make mistakes, things happen, but I have to have a power greater in myself that can restore me to sanity. Like I do pray, and I do somewhat meditate, and like do some self-reflecting, and taking some time out for myself is crucial. If we can take a couple minutes to pray, or a couple minutes just to reflect, or uh, get away from whatever's going on at the moment that's can be upsetting us, or making us stressed out, or having anxiety, or having bad thoughts and cravings and urges and desires. If we can just sit back and reflect and have faith that, I can get through this no matter what, and I don't have to pick up. But having faith in something that, will be there for you no matter what. And I found that through my God and my understanding. And, you know, he it was there for me even through active addiction, right? Which I didn't see too much because I was very closed-minded, right? We talked about that earlier, and I wasn't one to like, I wasn't aware of my surroundings and aware of what was going on because I was so clouded with substance, So like having hope and faith and stuff like that was not on my agenda. That was not on my radar, and something I did not practice. It says courage to keep going. Be courageous by standing up for what you believe in today, whether that be setting a boundary or telling your boss about an idea you have. Practicing courage can be scary, but it's also rewarding. Yeah, being in recovery, for me anyway, from active addiction to where I'm at in recovery today, takes a lot of courage. It takes commitment, and that can be scary. That can be really fear. We talk about fear in recovery too, like have a lot of fear of like the unknown. Um, but it takes courage to get here and to stay here. And if we keep on practicing courage, and it talks about, let's see here, where is that? So like say telling your boss an idea you have, like before I would just keep my mouth shut, like what I had to say or my ideas and my beliefs and my morals and values, I would keep that to myself, right? Even if I thought it was like a good idea or even whatever the case may be, I would not express it, right? I wouldn't try to um, engage with other people to like um, have a healthy relationship, healthy communication. Um, but like courage can go a long way, and we need to practice that to stay here in recovery. Like a lot of these principles, like we have to practice to stay here. That's my goal, and that's my aim is long lasting sobriety, and it takes a lot of courage and commitment and dedication to stay here. And it says practicing courage can be scary. It can, but at the end, it's rewarding. Right? I've heard it said, I have to be uncomfortable to get comfortable. A lot of things that we practice in recovery and we deal in recovery can be uncomfortable and scary, but emotions and feelings are only temporary, and they only last for so long. It says honesty in relationships. Practicing honesty is pretty straightforward. Practice honesty today by not lying, covering up the truth without sugarcoating or leaving anything out. Did you show up to work 5 minutes late? Admit it. Do you really like your friend's outfit? Tell them the truth. Honesty is it easier the longer you practice it. And so I've learned this, right? And through my sponsor and a few other recovering addicts that I have to be careful with honesty. I can be brutally honest, right? Honesty and brutally honest is two different things. Because when I practice, or not practice, but when I'm brutally honest, I can hurt people's emotions and feelings. I can hurt them by being brutally honest. I don't, so I have to like, it's a fine line, and that's something that I gotta work on is, I'm trying to be honest, but like, am I trying to hurt them at the same time? So I have to be careful. But honesty, yeah, for me, I have no trouble with being honest. I am an open book, and like honesty is the key to staying here, just like the other principles. Like I can't just practice some and not do the others, right? You know what I mean? So, but like that's one thing I did uh, good and on a consistent basis is being honest. And it can be uncomfortable just like anything else, right? Telling people how I really feel, letting my sponsor know like the things I've done and things I've been through. But it frees me up. Honestly, frees me up from self and from all the stuff that I came into recovery with. I came in with a lot of baggage, a lot of depression, anxiety, guilt, shame, remorse, resentment, fear, anger, a lot of character defects and shortcomings. but by practicing honesty, you don't have to deal with everybody, but you have to deal with somebody, and somebody I trust. And that's my sponsor and a few people in the fellowship and the God of understanding. It frees me and relieves me from my self-made prisons, which is the most freeing thing I can do. It says patience for others. Woo. Instead of honking your horn at the car in front of you, take a deep breath and exhale. Practice patience. Yeah. So we're driving, road rage, right? People driving crazy, and that's just a good way to practice patience. But it's funny how when reading these principles and some of the not little questions, but like the little format after it, like we have to apply all these principles, man. You know, it's and people, places, and things will give us the opportunity to practice these principles for sure. Because like patience is key. Sometimes I have to be patient with myself and definitely patient with others. I can't just fly off the handle today because like I'm a productive member of society. Like I have a great job, I have a great family, friends, and I have great relationships and healthy communication. So like if I don't practice patience, I'm going to be short tempered and I'm going to be flipping off at the mouth and I'm going to cause a lot of harm and I'm going to have to start making amends for this. So and it still happens today, but like I've gotten a lot better than I ever was. It says, let's see here, humility in place of stubbornness. Instead of arguing about how you're right, even when you know you're wrong, practice humility by apologizing about your wrongs. It can feel like a defeat, but afterward you will feel good about yourself and how you treat of others. Yeah, we don't like to admit when we're wrong, right? Um, I sure don't at times, right? But like practice some humility and say, like being honest and say, I'm sorry, like I was in the wrong. We don't like doing that. We don't like to admit when we're wrong. But it's something, we have to take accountability for. If we're wrong and if and that's about making amends with some things, like sorry, apologize, I was wrong, but actually really mean it. It takes a sign of humility to stay here and to like build our relationships and build a healthy communication by practicing humility. And I'm going to go to this last one here. Willingness to change. Practice willingness by saying yes to that after work yoga class with your coworker. Oftentimes we are quick to say that we want something, but we are unwilling to make changes to receive that thing. Practice willingness by showing that you will do something for positive results. Yeah, we have to be willing. Like things just don't come to us and like just a recovery. Like I can say, um, I want to be clean and sober and I want a good life, but am I willing to change? Am I willing to put the work in? Right? We do receive some things from recovery, right? But we have to put the work in. I have to be open minded and willing, and I have to persevere and put work in if I want to stay here. It takes patience. It takes hope, it takes faith. All these principles we talk about, we have to apply these in our daily lives. When I don't, I can cause a lot of pain and a lot of suffering to myself, to my family, my friends, to my coworkers, everybody around me. Like if I don't apply these principles, right? And this is without substance, right? Where the drugs and alcohol, they've been gone. I've been here for some years now. They've been gone, right? So like I've learned I can't just put drugs and alcohol down and still go about my life and doing the same thing and acting the same way and all these bad behaviors I had. I have to do this stuff on a daily basis and I have to practice these steps and these principles in my daily life. And it takes time, but we do get better. And that's the end of the meeting for the day. My name is Carl, I'm a recovery coach here at Capital Recovery Center. Until the next time, we'll see you later.